Okay, so in this video, we're going to talk about hips, and hips are the triangle pieces at the end of a roof. You can see that the diagonal folds come right down to the corners on this one. This roof is the easiest roof to draw. You just start with your R key. You're just going to start at the corner, click once, and you're just going to trace out this home. Once you complete that loop, you're done. You're done with the whole house. You can see that it automatically creates those hips from right where you drew the corners. At this point, all you would need to do is just adjust the height and the pitch to match LiDAR if there was any, and that's how you would draw those. However, there are some that are a little bit different. You'll see sometimes that these folds don't match up right to the corners. They'll be more in the center of the edge of the roof, kind of more right here and right here. And I'm about to show you how to do that. Okay, so here's a good example of what I'm talking about. We can see that there's these triangles on the end of the roof, but the diagonal edges do not match up to the corners. It's a little bit more involved than the other ones that we just did, but it's not too complicated. So we're going to start by building out the taller section first. Hit your R key, just start in the corner, just trace that gutter. Now here you can see a step down with one of those hips on it. We'll talk about how to handle that later. Just draw out that step down, come to the corner, come up to the other corner, follow this edge until we see the corner of the upper section. And also look for that intersecting orange dotted line, and then just close that loop. Now, the interesting thing on this is we actually don't have to delete any faces. We can see on the image of the roof that there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 roof faces. In our model that we've drawn, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 faces. So really, it's just a matter of adjusting the heights and the pitch. So as usual, we're just going to take this section by section. We just want to select this triangle because we know this big triangle is eventually going to be this smaller triangle. To do that, I'm just going to grab the arrow and drag it up until those diagonal folds match up with the image. Let's go over to this side. Same thing with this triangle. Select it once and raise it up till it matches. This one seems like it'll be more complicated, but really it's just the same thing. This section will end up being the little triangle, even though it's more of a diagonal rectangle type of shape. Just select that, and then we're just going to raise it up. And match it up there, and as we can see, it's kind of already created our step down with the triangle right on top of it. Now we've got it to match the shape, but we're going to have to match it to LiDAR. So I'm going to turn on LiDAR. I'm going to select the house and then just match up the gutters first. Once those are all matched up, we're going to double click on one of the roof faces. As usual, apply to all roof faces and just increase the pitch until it matches the LiDAR. Now, when you do this, it's going to mess up the hips or the triangles that we've created. You can see this when we turn off LiDAR here, and our triangles no longer match the image. How we fix that is just how we did it before. We're just going to select the triangle and raise the height until it matches the image again. So if you've matched it up to the image before LiDAR, it's going to take a little bit of fiddling after you change that to change those triangles again, but it's not really a huge deal. So now we can see that those hips match up pretty good to both the image and to LiDAR. This one below is actually a dormer, so we're not going to draw that right now, but we just draw this other lower section the same way as the main roof. Gonna hit your R key, start at the corner, bring it all the way until we're about halfway through that dormer. Once again, with the shorter section like we've talked about before, you want it to go underneath the taller section. So now we're just going to make sure this lower section is matched both with height and pitch to the LiDAR. Then it's just a matter of changing the height of the hip. Okay, we're all done. That's how you handle the smaller triangles on the hips.